Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. We got another recap, Love Island Season 3, Episode 18. And boy, we had a little bit of a doozy tonight. But before we jump into this video, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications. If you like the video, smash the like button and drop a comment down below. So let's jump into this. So, tonight started out with Cash trying to figure out what's going on again with Trina. She is, I'm assuming, on the floor in the corner of that little area of the villa. I mean, she's over there telling her, you know what, you got to know your worth. He's not worth it. And I'm like, okay, so are you listening to the advice that you're giving? If you're telling her to know her worth and he's not worth it, then why are you confused about Cinco when you have Charlie? I just don't get it. I don't get it. So in the meantime, Cinco is asking everybody that's over in the area with him, you know, how Trina's doing. And they're telling him, oh, she's not doing good. She's not doing good at all. And of course, we have Josh and Shannon having a conversation about Trina's situation because, I mean, she's just a mess right now. And we hear Shannon talking about, you know, I just think he rubs me the wrong way. I'm kind of glad that we hear Josh say, hey, he wasn't trying to be malicious. He was just trying to figure this thing out. So I'm glad that they didn't try to villainize him because that's what this show is about. I mean, don't go, and I'll talk probably a little bit more about a little bit later, but none of these people need to go on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette because you got 32-1. So you're going to have multiple connections in a setting like this. And the other interesting thing about this whole situation is sometimes they say how you start is how you end. And we all remember how that all started with Trina and Shannon was kikiing in front of Cash about Cinco, and now we on the other side of this. So they're still having this conversation. Cash is like, you know, I don't know what I want to do. I'm still confused. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And Shannon is still looking at her like, you know what you want to do. You know who you want. So just quit playing. And I mean, honestly, it's just interesting how she had one thing to say to Trina, but the same person that she says he's not worth it, then why are you interested? And if you are truly 110% interested in Charlie, why are you considering even Cinco? This is your manifestation, remember? So I just, this whole triangle is a whole different way now because now at first Cinco was at the top of the triangle. Now Cash has a new triangle she's on top of. So then we have Leslie and Genevieve. They're doing something for social media. And I'm assuming that Leslie is already a social media influencer. I don't know, guys. I haven't checked her out on IG to see where she stands at this point. But I guess the pictures and the poses that she's doing got the guys feeling some kind of way. And how they're really, the girls, you know, Jenny and Leslie, so focused on whatever she's doing on social media. I mean, obviously, this is something that she does. Now, I know a lot of folks say, oh, people coming on there for the wrong reasons. Okay, and that you're supposed to be on this show because you want to find a connection. There's also $100,000 at the end of this. And for those that don't win or make it to the end, their social media following blows up anyway. I mean, from last season, those cast members have anywhere from 200,000 to 400,000 followers, endorsements, and other marketing that they're doing. They're social media influencers. The only difference is Leslie is one already. But obviously they find that, hey, you're supposed to be doing what we're expecting you to do. Leslie seemed to be her own person. I will say that she tends to give, she know how to dish it. She also know how to take it. She also know how to give advice too. But these guys are definitely not feeling the fact that, the two of them are doing what they're doing. Now, I want to call a little bit of BS on this, because from what I understand from listening to what they said about Love Island and production, they usually take their phones from them. So if this was a setup for drama and she's already an influencer, they could have created this storyline to cause drama. Because from what I understand, they don't get to keep their phones in the villa. So unless they change something, this situation is kind of weird. I don't know if they were looking to add some more drama, because it's been really like everybody is kumbaya. But yeah, I when I saw this, I did not react like what everybody was seeing, because it was like, wait a minute, I thought that they take their phones from them. So, anywho, just my take. But yeah, the guys are definitely having issues with it. And I think she made a comment about Genevieve's boobs and how she want to suffocate in between her two breasts. And the thing is, we already know she's self-proclaimed as bisexual. So obviously she felt comfortable making the comment to Genevieve, and Genevieve didn't take it no kind of way, but obviously it did something with the guys. So, they were pretty much now having conversations about their connections in the villa. And Genevieve was saying that she is interested in trying to see what's going on with Mr. Charlie. Now, honestly, she says Charlie has been looking at her and giving her eye contact as well. I'm kind of interested to see where that will go, because as we'll talk about later, his body language with Cash is just not, it's a little passive. So if he's not 100% with her and he has another interest in the villa, that needs to be made known. So this is where all the guys are together and we can hear them talk about how they're not feeling the fact of them taking pictures, meaning Genevieve and Leslie, and this whole social media thing. And they're making a big deal out of it. And I'm like, okay, if you are bothered and triggered by this, don't watch. Obviously, Love Island producers are okay with her taking all these pictures on social media. And at the same time, there are people managing Cash's social media. I think maybe her sister does. There's other people managing the other cast members' social media while they're not, and posting pictures. So I don't understand why they're so bothered by this. But it created a whole topic for conversation. So I'm wondering, is this drummed up drama or what? It seemed kind of fishy to me. But that's just my thought. If it is legit, it's like, okay, you know what? You don't like it, go somewhere else. Or else the girls, maybe they feel comfortable somewhere else. So now they're following up with Cinco about where he's staying. And he's pretty much like, I'm cool. I ain't try to hurt that girl. I got to do what's best for me. And this whole thing with Cash and Trina is just in the dark place. Kind of like how Corey was when, I think, who was that kind of dumped him a little bit? Was it Olivia? I forgot. I don't remember. It's been so many episodes. But Charlie is in the middle of this, and then she turns around and she says in conversation, Charlie needs to be a little bit more aggressive with her. And I don't mean aggressive in a bad way, but she wants to be like pulled close instead of just laying the hands on her. And of course, Trina is also still talking about the fact that she's worried about Cinco hurting Cash. And it's like, listen, the two of you chose to be in this triangle. You chose it. He specifically told you guys that yes, I'm with one, but I'm still have feelings for the other. And vice versa when Trina entered into this category with this triangle as well. And that's the thing about Charlie, is that he knows what's up. He's not tripping. He's not feeling some kind of way. He admitted to inserting himself in the middle of this thing. But at the same time, I think that's one reason why he's keeping his feelings at bay. So then Kira's in there. A lot of people aren't feeling how fast this whole thing turned over. And one of those people is Trina. And she was like, well, how you doing? And so Kira's like, I'm good. He apologized, we decided to move forward. And Trina was like, are you sure about that? Because, he actually told you he kissed another girl. And she was like, yeah, I'm fine. And she made some smart remark to counteract Trina. Trina didn't say nothing else. It's like, would you leave that girl alone? Kira has a mission. She has a mission. So now we see Corey. He get a text. I got a text. And they're playing this whole challenge with putting a ring on it, pieing somebody in the face, and, giving that person who they really want to give a kiss. I would say the biggest thing out of all of this is the first kiss with Genevieve and Charlie. And then the kiss back with Genevieve and Charlie. Then, of course, Josh kissing Olivia. And that definitely made Shannon feel some kind of way about that. How many times did we see Cinco get patted in the face by the women? We happen to see, of course, again, like I said, that kiss back with Charlie and Genevieve. And, of course, she was looking at that like, Again, Cinco get patted in the face. He just but he took it in stride. He didn't get mad. He even said, man, this tastes good. And then, of course, when Trina tried to pie him in the face as well, he took that stuff and rubbed it all through her hair. She felt some kind of way. She felt pretty good about it. But, he took it in stride. They tried to really take out their aggression on how they felt about the Cinco situation. But it's some accountability to go around. I said that in episode 17, and I'm saying it in this one as well. So again, they keep asking him, how are you doing? And of course, Cinco is like, I'm good. I had to make the best decision for me at the end of the day. And whether that cost him to leave the island alone, because there's a chance that Trina leaves and, Cash decides to stay with Charlie, we don't know. Then I guess this whole thing with Kira is, like I said, is bothering folks. Shannon had to voice her opinion, saying that whole situation moved on a little bit too fast for me. You just decided to go ahead and forget this dude. It's her choice. A lot of folks don't like it, but again, Kira has a mission. She's trying to get to the end of this thing. So, even, a lot of people don't agree with Kira. They don't like the kissy face about all that. But it is what it is. And I'm surprised because in the beginning of the conversation, Jenny and Leslie blended in with the girls. They were talking and laughing. And I guess at that point, they tolerated it. But, okay, we see that temperature is going to change later. Cash is in the shower talking about she hates how people are trying to push me with Cinco. And I'm like, that's because you keep giving out the vibes that you want him. So what else do you think people are going to do? Then there's this conversation with Kira and Will. And, they're sitting back talking about how people are not happy about how they moved on so fast. And, Will was like, I appreciate you. And Kira's like, nope, you know what? I pretty much moved past it. Yes, you kissed the girls, but hey, this is what this experience is about. Partly that is correct. Now he chose outside of challenges to do what he did and sleep in beds and stuff with folks. But hey, if she signed up for that, whatever the outcome is, she got to deal with it. So Cash decided to have a sit down with Charlie. Charlie is like, look, what we doing? And I'm stepping back a little bit because she noticed that there was some distance because of her trying to figure out this Cinco thing. And it's just so confusing because he's like, I willingly came in knowing that, you still have feelings for this dude. But at what point are now you going to make a decision? So now she's in that same position. Hopefully she get to understand what Cinco was going through with that situation. When you got two people that you're interested in, you're gonna have to figure out a way to be intentional with one and let the other one know what you're gonna do. And it was the same thing with him. So now we got this whole thing. I'm not feeling this coupling. I think it's forced. These two do not want to leave the island. So they just figure like, okay, fine, let's just come together. We'll fake it till we make it. I just don't see it. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not her. I'm not him. But from what we see, it's just two people that say, you know what? Let's just go together. We'll ride to the end. This is another Calvin and Mora 2.0. Those two just said, you know what? I don't want to go home. Even if I got to be the fourth place couple, I'm getting to the end. And this is what this resembles to me. And I'm looking like, yeah, okay, whatever. So we have Cinco having a conversation with Leslie. And Cinco is like, I don't know what I did wrong. I had to make a decision on what's best for me. And at the time, I had to experience one to see if that was a fit versus the other. And now I know what I want. And Leslie is like, well, sometimes people don't get the outcome that they really want and they're upset about it. So you got to be true to yourself. Figure out what you want out of this experience, because this is, at the end of the day, guys, this is a social experiment to see if you can find a connection to take outside the villa. She is absolutely correct. The problem is that there's a chance somebody's going to get hurt when more than one person is involved. But I would say I kind of sort of agree with her advice. So then we have Jenny and Charlie having a conversation. And it seems like Jenny is trying to shoot her shot with Charlie. She brings up the fact that they have been pretty much eyeballing each other and the looks and the glances. And she want to see where he stands in regards to, how you feeling about being a part of the Cinco situation. And he's like, well, I knew this coming in. The Cash still had a connection with Cinco. But hey, I'm cool with it. But yeah, I have been interested. However, he turns from being a conversationalist to somewhat of a low-key snitch, because he goes to tell Genevieve, yeah, but my interest is kind of like, I don't know about you, because you guys always bringing up social media, and we in the villa are feeling some kind of way about all of this, and it makes us uncomfortable. Me and the guys were talking about it, and I'm like, oh. So while she was in the dressing room and the girls were taking pictures in the closet mirror, these two decide to have a conversation. This is where Jenny fills Leslie in on that whole conversation of what Charlie said. So now we have, and we'll hit that up later. So now we got this conversation with both Josh and Shannon, and they talking about the growth in their relationship. Oh my God, we've came such a long way and we've really grown. That's more of Josh talking, because I believe with the facial reactions of every time she see Josh kissing somebody in a challenge, she found out what happened with challenges when in Casa, she just is not feeling this. And I think she's just trying to fake it till she make it. I don't know if these two are going to make it on the outside. It looked like Josh is willing, but Shannon, I don't know. She's easily triggered, it seems. And so I don't know about growth. Maybe on his end, but she was definitely receptive to what he said. Looked like she's always listening and trying to hang on to every word, because the moment something don't sound right, she catch him up on it. It's like, oh my God, a person like that, you would probably be walking on eggshells all the time, because you got to watch what you say without triggering her into some frenzy. So we see both Trina, who is still trying to recover from her choices that she made with dealing with Cinco, and Kira is trying to console her and pretty much just offer, you know what, well, why don't we go get a drink? Because that conversation has been going around in the villa for the last 3 days. The chances is this is what happens. And so there is a toast that's given by Olivia, but the temperature changes because Leslie have something that she has to say, and she need to get it off her chest. And I tell, yeah, that was crazy. I mean, she took off. I mean, nobody could stop her. That's what I was just saying about Shannon. Shannon is easily triggered. She went off. I mean, I don't. Let me ask you guys what Genevieve said about her and Josh's sex life and putting it on Front Street. It's okay to do that, but it's not okay for us to do what we do on social media. Do you think the comparison was the same, and do you think Genevieve was okay with what she said to Shannon or not? I mean, I think that Leslie, when she started the conversation, it went well, but it went way left when it came to Genevieve, responding the way that she did. So I want to hear you guys' thoughts on that. But, I mean, it was an interesting thing. Nobody could stop that Shannon freight train. Cash tried to slow her down. And the crazy thing is, they was like, we don't have drama in the villa. No drama. We don't want to create any drama in the villa. Now, that answers a lot of questions because a lot of people have been saying, and I've seen other commentaries, that it's just been pretty much slow, confusing, and a mess because it really hasn't been any drama. And some people said it was boring this particular season after the few episodes at the beginning. So were they purposely trying to play down the drama, or did maybe the network said play down the drama? I don't know. But there it is, clear as day. They did not want any drama in that villa. So we got 3 girls coming in. I'm interested to seeing that. 1 goes home. But I would say the winner so far that I enjoy watching outside of this show is Wes and Amy, because they're doing it up as a couple. They even starting their whole TikTok and YouTube channel. So I find more of a deeper connection with them, and they're not even in the villa. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you on Sunday night.